It is time now to talk about legal issues and cases in the headlines right now. Greg Isaacs is here. As always, good to see you.
Lord, it's good to be here.
Today we're focusing on this woman, Sherri Papini. A lot of people talking about this one. It's made national news. She's from California. She was at the center of a 2016 kidnapping case. Only now, she's the one facing charges. And Greg, prosecutors are claiming this was all a hoax. So walk us through what we know.
Well, Lori, was this a kidnapping or a grandiose hoax? In 2016, in November, Papini doesn't show up to pick up her young children at daycare. Her husband files a missing persons complaint, and she disappears for 3 weeks.
And there's a massive search.
There's a massive search. There are helicopters, police. There are posters all over Eastern California. She shows up 3 weeks later and says, lo and behold, I've been kidnapped, abducted, big production. And then the shoe drops.
Then the shoe drops. So let's talk about what got her in trouble and the charges she could now face.
Well, when she was, quote, rescued, she said she had been abducted by two, in her terms, Mexican women at gunpoint. She had been drugged. She had been branded. She actually had a brand on her shoulder and held captive in a closet for 22 days. Went so far as to give the Sheriff's Department and the FBI an artist rendering of what her captors look like. But it started not adding up. She had a GoFundMe account that had nearly $50,000. She filed a victim's compensation claim to the tune of nearly $30,000. So, lo and behold, she wasn't kidnapped. It was an elaborate hoax.
And prosecutors are saying she was with an ex-boyfriend.
She was down the road in Costa Mesa with an ex-boyfriend. Now, here's what happens, and it's a good lesson. Not only was it a crime to make a false statement to law enforcement, and that's a pretty broad crime, and it can happen here in Knox County.
You can't lie to police.
You can't lie to the police. Now, what you can do is say, I don't want to talk. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment rights. But Mark Twain said the old adage, good liars give details, great liars don't. Bad liar. So
wow.
She gave a false statement. She also committed wire fraud by the Victims Compensation Fund claims.
Yes.
The GoFundMe, which $30,000 was used by a family member, $11,000 to pay off credit card debt.
So that's a lot of money,
right.
A lot of time spent searching for her. Can she be held accountable for that? What's going to happen to her, you think?
She is charged in a 55-page federal complaint, and the federal sentencing guidelines are economically driven. So under relevant conduct, they're going to factor in all the money, and that sentence is going to go up and up and up. And just realize when you lie in a situation like this and say someone else stole my car, etc., then the money it takes to investigate, she's going to be forced to pay that back and spend more time in jail.
All right, we'll keep following this case. Greg, thank you.
Fascinating case.
If you have a legal question for Greg, just email AskIsaacs@WATE.com. And remember, we have Greg on for Ask Isaacs every Wednesday at 5:30 right here on WATE 6 on your side.